Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Cuts by Dre, New Styles Mobile Barber, and I'm in the mobile van this afternoon. And this episode is going to be about the life of a mobile barber. I'm going to take you on one of my appointments, let you see what it's like to be a mobile barber, to be out on the street cutting hair, see if it's something that you would like to add to your business plan. I myself, I love it. I've been doing it for about 5 years. I cut in the shop and I cut in the mobile van. And I love the mobile experience because you get out, get you some fresh air, get to eat wherever you want, get to be personal with your customers, and you can charge more money. So with that said, we're going to get right into this video and tell me what you think. Tell me if it's something that you might want to add to your arsenal, all right? Peace. All right, on our way out to do this mobile job. Got about 15 minutes to get there. Kind of nice out here today. Gotta set your cones out because people will run into you. All right, in the mobile van on the way to the next cut. All right, we in the mobile van today. Got my client with me. He's pretty much getting a dark bald fade, dark on top, bald on the sides, a medium fade. And you know, I start most of my cuts off, if you've seen most of my videos, go around the bottom, right around the eyebrow length, and I kind of clean that up around with about a triple aught clipper all the way closed. We're not going to focus as much on the haircut. You know, I'm going to review the haircut as I talk to you today about being a mobile barber, being out there on the road, what it's like to be a mobile barber. At the same time, I want to go over and I want to review another haircut, man. Let you see how it feels to be cutting inside the mobile van. All right, so my client here, as you can see, I speeded the video up a little bit, showing you basically what I do, the same technique that I would use in the shop. You know, the difference of the mobile and the shop is, I guess, if you're kind of like a claustrophobic person, you don't like to be in a confined, tight space, mobile barbering probably won't be for you. But on the other hand, I've noticed I like cutting in the van a lot more than cutting in the shop. Even though it's tighter, I'm a little bit more confined. I'm closer to my client. I'm a little bit more intimate with my client. We can talk about things that we normally couldn't talk about in the shop. And as you can see right here, me and my client, we having a conversation about, you know, whatever it is that he wants to talk about or things that we might share in common, but we can get into details that we necessarily might not talk about in the shop. They might offend other people or whatever the case may be, but being in that environment in the van, it's a one-on-one with your client, and that's one of the things I love about it. So if you're the type of barber where you more prefer a one-on-one with your customer, that personal relationship with your customer, getting to know your customers a little bit better, not being around a lot of people, mobile barbering is the thing for you. As you can see here in my van, it's not a real big van, but it is comfortable. It does have some space. I do got a little waiting area in there, you know, enough room so that you don't feel as claustrophobic. I do let some light in the window in the front, so it's nice and bright. You're getting some sunshine in there. Sometimes I'll put the sun visor in the window just so people can't see inside if they're walking by. You know, if you're in an area where there's a lot of traffic around you on the outside, you don't want a lot of people to know what's going on inside your van. I'll put my sun visor up, but in this particular situation, I was in a spot where there actually wasn't no traffic around, so I was able to let that sunshine in. So right now, what you see me doing to my client, excuse me, I'm just bringing his top down to his desired length. He likes to have that wavelength haircut. So after I go around the sides and I clean them up, get them down nice and close, I like to go over the top with the grain if they're getting like wavelength. If they're not getting wavelength and they want it a little bit closer than that, then I'll go against the grain to make it a lot lighter. Against the grain always gives you a more even cut, in my opinion, but it also takes off more hair. So if a client doesn't want that much hair taken off, and if you want to maintain those waves that he's been working real hard to maintain, you know, you might not want to go against the grain. So as you can see here, I've been going with the grain with my client to bring that top down to the desired length. Then I start my fade off like I normally do. I'm using those Boost FXs today. I really like these clippers. They got a good feel to them. They fade real nice with the ceramic blade. And I'm just pretty much going around his head about a ½ inch up from that original line where I started. Another thing about the mobile cuts, mobile cuts, you gotta, if you want to make money in the mobile cut game, I don't recommend you get into cutting as a mobile barber until you have your speed up. I schedule all my appointments 30 minutes apart. So a mobile cut, you can't schedule that 30 minutes apart because you got to take in consideration the time to get to the client and then the time to get from the clients to back to your shop or back to your next mobile location, wherever that might be. So I give myself a 15-minute drive time to the client and a 15-minute drive time after I'm finished the client's hair. That's an hour block for a mobile cut. Thus, a mobile cut costs about twice as much as a regular shop haircut would cost. If you're charging $30 in the shop, then a mobile cut would cost about $60 in my market. Now, in some markets, I know y'all probably looking at me like $60 for a mobile cut. Are you kidding me? Some people getting 100, some people getting 200. Hey, I commend those people. I would like to get there, but in my particular market in Virginia, where I'm at, if I want to make money, if I want to make good money, maintain a higher standard of living, I got to stay within my market. And right now, my market average for mobile cuts for me is about $60 a cut. Now, yes, I do have customers that tip well. A lot of times you get more than $60 a cut when you're out doing a mobile cut because of the service, because of the convenience. So you do get more than the 60 in my market. In other markets, I'm sure you can demand 100 plus for a mobile cut. But you got to keep in mind, you want your customers to come back on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, every 2 weeks at the least, every 2 weeks. And you got to consider people's own personal budget, their own personal lifestyles. How many people can afford getting a $100 haircut every week? That's $400 a month on a haircut. That's a small car note. How many people are willing to pay that? So you got to consider the market that you're in as well. If you're in a high-end market like Miami, you're out in California somewhere, the big cities, where the median income is a lot higher, you can demand a lot more for your haircuts. But on average, in most areas across the country, the average haircut in the shop may be around $30, $40. And if you're doing an upscale service like a mobile, then you probably want to double that. All right, back to my client here. I'm shaping him up. Done got through a lot of this haircut while I was talking, but I'm giving him that final shape up that I like to do. I like to do a pre-shape up in the beginning, if you didn't see that. And that pre-shape up is to allow me not to use highlights as much. I'm not real big on the highlights. I'm an old school barber. We didn't use highlights for 20 years, cutting hair wasn't heard of, man. You had to come out the shop with a sharp cut, with your clippers, with your razor, whatever you had. We didn't have any sprays or dyes to kind of make it look a little bit better. Nothing wrong with it, don't get me wrong. I do use highlights, but I prefer not to use them. So I like to do my shape ups. I like to try to keep the hair dark around the temple area, around the C-cup area or the vertical bars. I like to keep the fade a little bit darker in the front so that you can see that hairline a lot sharper, so that I don't have to use highlights. And I think that's a lot better, because the next day when you get out of bed, or you wash your face, or you done took your shower and you done washed all them highlights out, you can't see them anymore anyway. But if you use this technique and try to keep it a little bit darker up front, then you'll be able to see that nice sharp hairline days after your haircut. So right now, my client, I'm finishing him up, cleaning his beard up. As you can see, trying to get him cleaned up. I got about 30 minutes to get him in and out the chair. Full haircut, beard, fade, whatever it is. I got about 30 minutes to get him in and out the chair on a mobile cut, because I got to get to my next location. So Being a mobile barber is about speed, but it's also about the quality of haircut that you give them too. People are not going to pay $60 to $100 plus for a haircut if it's not quality. It may be convenient. It may be nice that you're pulling up to their home or their job or their office, wherever you might be pulling up. But if the cut isn't on point, it really doesn't matter. So you definitely need to work on those skills first. You definitely need to have some kind of app where they can book you online, where they can book the time and the place they're going to be at, so that you can see all that, on your computer, on your iPad, however you do it. I love it because it's more convenient. I know where I need to be at, where I need to be. Booking shop appointments, I know I need to be at the shop. When somebody book a mobile appointment, I know where I need to be and I know what time I need to be there. So that's one reason why I love it. It's working out for me great. Combining the two, shop plus mobile, I think is a win-win. Everybody can't afford a mobile cut, but those that can, you can demand that high premium. Then when you get back to the shop, even though you're not getting the higher premium for haircuts, you can cut more heads in the shop because you're not having to drive to and from clients. So both of them can work hand in hand for each other, and it can be very lucrative. So once again, man, I'm cleaning my man up right here in this cut, finishing him up. We had good conversation. This was one of my regular customers, good dude. I'm trying to finish him up right now, shaping up their hairline, cleaning up the bottom of his fade with the edges. And as you can see, I use my boost clippers, my FX edges in this particular haircut. And that's about, where we stand right here. See how much more time we got left. Almost finished with this cut. So the life of a mobile barber, is it something that you might want to do, consider, think about? Hey, I really think you should consider it. All you barbers out there that's paying booth rent, all you shop owners that want to add something else to your shop, I really think you should look into this. It's been very lucrative for me, very successful, and I love it. I love getting out to get out on the road, get some fresh air, being able to eat lunch wherever you want to eat at, not confined to one shopping center or one space, being able to travel across town to certain customers that's not willing to get to your shop, may not even know where your shop location is at. So it's definitely something I would add to any barber's arsenal. Hey, this is the life of a mobile customer. That's my cut right there. Make sure you like, subscribe, and that's the finished product right there. The life of a mobile barber, cuts by Dre, New Styles Mobile Barber. Thanks for checking me out, and this is about the outro right here. Man, it's one thing about this mobile thing, man. You gotta be on the job quick. I always roll my front window down before I get out, because I have locked myself out. There's one thing about the Nissan van I like, man. They get in tight spots like this, man. A lot of spots. Zoom out. A lot of tight spots, man. Bigger vans can't get in, but this Nissan van fit right in there real easy, real quick. So, all right, we on our way to the next one.